the city commission meeting. Could we have the roll call, please?
Smith.
Here.
Luke.
Here.
Craig.
Here.
Harvey.
Here.
Mayor Robish.
Present. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on to the agenda approval. Is there anything that I missed that someone needs to add?
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Luke.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Moving on to public forum. Public forum is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. Please state your name and address for the record. And I believe we have a couple here for a public forum. Aaron, Nathan, you guys want to come up?
I'm Aaron Rogers, 231 7th Street Southeast,
Nathan Hofer, 1438 Kansas Northeast.
and we're here tonight to give the city an update on the Isaac Walton Shooting Sports Complex. First off, everybody knows that the rifle range got a fresh remodel. That's about 95% done. We still gotta get the bulk toilet in there, a little bit more concrete finish work. With that, starting this month here, the hours will be changing with time change from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. If anybody's interested in using that, and we do have some upcoming events or scheduled, some enhanced carry classes and just your normal concealed carry classes. If you want to get your enhanced permit, that's going to be possible. That'll probably be best to be found, the information on the Isaac Walton Facebook page or at Huron Guns and Ammo.
Okay.
So we also got the trap range functional, is what I'll call it. And we're gonna kind of kick that off this summer. We've gotten a lot of, community support through our local organizations. Great Plains Outdoors went out to Aberdeen to get that up and running. And we always said that our start was gonna be youth focused, so it's not really per se, we wanna get the high school team going, we wanna get the 4-H kids out there and things like that, that'd be a little bit more of an organized, structured clubs to come use the Isaac Walton facility. That's our end goal, and then we do have things in motion with that. There's this, Philip is his name, he's gonna start the 4-H shotgun thing, kids shooting like we started a few years back when we initially built the range, and then, whatever happened, and it kind of went by the wayside, but he's getting that fired back up again, so to kind of gauge some interest, the Isaac Walton's gonna open the trap range for 8 Monday nights for what we're gonna call youth open night. So middle school and high school kids that are enrolled in any school district, doesn't have to be Huron, come out and shoot. The first 2 nights, we're gonna throw 25 targets per kid, and the cost of the targets themselves are gonna be covered. So they just have to show up with their firearm and ammo. The last 6 nights, we're gonna allow 50 targets per kid. The reason for that being is, based on the experience level of the kids, the experience level of our volunteers, we don't wanna run way late. So we wanna make sure that we have enough time to go over the safety protocol, how the range is operated, how you're supposed to shoot around a trap, and all that stuff. So we're gonna go over, the firearm handling, the operations of a trap club, how to shoot around it, and that kind of things with every kid. We're doing 20 kids per night is what we're capping it at, again, for the time crunch and make sure that everyone has enough time to get through there safely. They will need a parent or guardian present. We're gonna have waivers beforehand and on site. We're going on the high school announcements tomorrow. My cousin Noah's gonna do that for us, and then me and Michaela Barnes are gonna be there over the lunch hour in the high school with our sign-up sheet. And then Mr. Mills said that we were able to leave the sign-up sheet in the high school for the kids that we missed. So that's how we're gonna start it. If you do wanna get signed up outside of going to the high school office, my contact information is on the flyers. It will be on Facebook and our website. So we will have the sign-up sheet ready. It doesn't have to be the same kids all 8 nights. We're kinda hoping to get a mixture of different kids. So if you can't make it the first night, you can sign up for the second night. If you can't make the first 2, sign up for the 3rd through the 8th. So want to get as much exposure, as many kids out there as possible to get our interest in starting our high school and 4-H clubs to kind of get the kids' names, their contact information, waivers, interest level. So kind of not putting the cart in front of the horse is what we're doing. So we're excited about it. We've gotten a lot of good feedback. My phone's been blowing up. I got 5 or 6 kids already that are like, where's the sign-up sheet and stuff? So we're excited to get this opportunity back in Huron that we've been lacking since the trap range out west closed. I'm especially excited about it, obviously, because it's kind of my passion growing up to get this part of it. We started with the rifle range, now we're moving into the shotgun and hopefully into the archery range in the near future once we get all of our ducks back on the same pond. But that's kind of our update for you. We have over 250 members at the rifle range right now that have paid their yearly memberships, and they will get their automatic renewals sent here whenever it's year to date. So hoping to get those renewed and keep growing. So that's our update for you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll post it that I can get the minutes right.
Yep.
How about Nathan or Aaron, either one of you, can you, I know you said the rifle, the shooting range hours are what again?
10 to 4 right now for winter hours. We improved it from 10 to 7 with the daylight hours, but we may have to go revamp that versus, the sunset time and things like that. But that was just our last meeting minutes was to open it up later back with the time
Starting
change.
in March.
Starting in March.
And do you have to be a member to use it?
So how that works is
That's a lot of the
is
questions.
no, but kind of. So you have to go with a member, right? So we have, if like say you want to come with me, it costs you $10. We pay that at Huron Guns and Ammo. And then you can come with me, I let you in, we go shoot, have our evening, and then we can leave. But we geared it to be member forward, right? I mean, we didn't feel like $100 for a whole 12 months. I mean, we're open 12 months. I mean, granted, there's a few weekends there in the winter that it's not that pleasant to use, but people used it all winter. So that's why we set the price point where we did, to kind of be member forward. But the answer to your question literally is no.
Okay, and how do you become a member?
So currently, you can go on, we don't have a membership form online. But
Okay.
we have, everything's on an app called Zeffy, so you can get onto Zeffy and find the Beetle County Sportsman's Club, or not Sportsman's Club, but the Isaac Walton facility.
Isaac Walton.
Or go down to Huron Guns and Ammo, and they have sign-up sheets. And so then all your information goes onto Zeffy. You get an electronic key card, so when you go in and out, we have an e-log of who's entered, who's exited, so we can keep track of all that information. That card automatically renews once you pay your membership for each year.
Yeah. And then that gives us some control access too. If somebody's, they're late, which has happened, we shut their
Sure.
card off,
Okay.
And if they have, hey, I can't get in, well, then we get to have a conversation with them, right?
Okay.
So we have shut a couple off of people that have, been there late, been there abusing the facility, leaving garbage, stuff like that. So we are policing it to the best of our abilities. We're still volunteers doing
Yeah,
this on our own
yeah.
time. So, it's our responsibility, but, and there's just sometimes when we're not there and we can't run out there and chew somebody's butt right away,
Yeah.
But that's what the controlled access is for, to be able to shut them off and catch them later. But, yeah,
Okay. Thank
that's what we're doing. So, thank you guys for having us.
That's
You
a,
bet, thank
that's a
you.
huge improvement out there
Yeah.
from what it
It's-
was.
It's turning out really nice.
And it's nice to have it as a controlled environment with key entry and policing of it.
Mhm. Yeah, we were extremely happy and, with the results of all of our efforts over the years. It took a long time, and, we brought over, right at that $1 million mark from outside funds into Huron, so.
Yeah.
Good.
And it's nice
for our
to see some of the
infrastructure.
traditional sporting come back
Yep.
to the area and
Exactly.
instruction for it.
Mhm. That was our goal, so.
Good job.
Right.
As popular as firearms now, safety is the biggest thing, and I know you have been involved with that since you've been
Yep, as long as I
old
can
enough
remember.
to spell safely.
And the rifle range that was one of our main goals, was to make it safer than our original range. And having a distinct firing line, our flags, our rules posted everywhere. It's been good.
Yeah.
So,
All right, thank you.
Anyway, thanks,
Thank
guys.
you very much.
Yep.
Okay, I know we have some more here, so I want to first, well, you go ahead and say your name, I guess.
Okay, I wrote mine down, so I stay up my few minutes here. Okay, I'm Shelley Freeze. I live south of town at 250 33rd Street, South.
Okay, I'm gonna interject right now. They took more than 3 minutes, that was part of our fault, so don't worry about it.
I'm good. I
Okay.
said my quick thing. So, I just wanna say this, on February 27th, I was interrupted during a work, conference call when I looked up and noticed a flash of flames and thick smoke out my kitchen window. I raced outside to find my husband, who was in one of our buildings. I was screaming fire and called Paul. I could already hear the sirens coming, and what followed over the next hour was sheer terror for me. For a second, your mind feels frozen. You don't know whether to grab a hose, whether to go help your neighbors, whether to secure important documents from your home. It was an incredibly dry and windy day, as you may know, and the flames were moving really fast toward our property and our neighbors. Thankfully, friends, family, and other neighbors started to arrive. They began to move important items from our home into our cars. They grabbed shovels from our shed, knocked down flames, hooked up garden hoses, and turned on sprinkler systems. One friend jumped on a UTV and loaded a water tank with a pump from our shop. My husband took another UTV and loaded a larger pump and hose and started pumping water from our neighbor's pond in order to save their building. Other friends, Wayne, Jason, showed up with large water tanks. And Brian, his family jumped on tractors to create a fire break and stop the flames from spreading towards another group of houses and farm structures to the south and the east. I just want to say that we are beyond grateful to the Huron Fire Department for their swift response during the fire emergency in our area. We also appreciate the additional fire departments, Cabor, Alpena, and Woolsey, who came to the scene. Again, we are eternally grateful for the fire department's expertise, bravery, dedication, in keeping our community safe. With that said, if any of you have seen the photos, the videos, or even the aerial footage, you know how large this fire was and what it covered. While I can't change what happened, I can advocate for our local fire department. I personally believe that without the resources that we personally had, along with the support of our family, friends, and community, the outcome would have been much worse. So I'm asking for your support for our local fire department with any needs they have moving forward. Whether it's new fire equipment, brush trucks, UTVs, or additional training, these resources are essential for the safety of our entire community. At our little informal discussion that we had, one of the council members mentioned that even if we had another truck, we don't always have an extra person or staff or space for it. And my response to that is very simple. Then fix this known problem. Let's get creative, make sure critical infrastructure is at the top of the priority list in our community. And in closing, I just want to say that I never want anyone to feel that type of fear that I felt on that Friday. And we just want to thank everyone personally that was involved in coming out, and also including our first responders. So thanks for your time. And I also just want to say, if you need this story to apply for grants, if you need pictures, if you need anything, let us know, and we're happy to provide that. So that's all I have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shelley.
I just want to, if they do leave, before they leave, I just want to say a very, very serious thank you to the Freezes. And not just the Freezes, but their neighborhood. It was a very scary day. Not for me, but I don't even want to be in your shoes. But I'm telling you, we met with the neighborhood, and my goodness, they were very easy to work with, very understanding to work with. That will not be forgotten, okay?
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, so.
Okay, appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just have I have one more, public forum, okay? Lost my mind there, but, it's, the beginning of March, so that means February is past, and February is our annual burger month. So I want to say thank you to, first, the 13 participating restaurants that we had, and then, the whole community as far as the public. We sold over 8,500 burgers in February, 8,572 to be exact. And that's just that burger that was advertised. That's not any drinks. That's not any other food that was ordered by people that were just there. That was a very, very huge impact for our community. And it's not just Huron, because we can't eat that many burgers, but we try. But the community, the whole community, it brings people together. It gives them a sense of, it's just a good time to get together and go out and have a burger with somebody that you usually don't. So, again, thank you very, very much for participating in that. So, moving on to the consent agenda. Our consent agenda tonight consists of 4.1 minutes of March 2, 2026, 4.2 fuel quotes for city departments, 4.3 consider special alcohol permits submitted by One Oak Events and the Huron Chamber for the chamber mixer on April 14th at Henny Penny Pet Corner. It's quite a name.
That is.
Henny Penny.
Yeah, catchy, right?
Yeah. And 4.4 payment of the bills.
Move to approve the consent.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Vote.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Moving on to ordinances and resolutions. Tonight we have 7.1, first reading of ordinance number 2281-25-7. This is the historic preservation and set the second reading for March 16th, 2026. I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Cranston, our city planner.
Thank you, Mayor. This is basically cleanup language. This, within our historic preservation ordinance, there is a list of individually listed properties on the National Historic Register. And if you haven't, if you don't know which ones those are the Pile House, the Octagon House that was originally built by Hattie and Henry Drake, the Grace Episcopal Church, also known as the Stone Church, the Dairy Building, which is also the Dakota Land Museum, the Margaret and Vernon Moxon House, which is listed as a Luxon House, which is a really unique building because Sears and Roebuck used to sell those in a large kit, and they're made entirely out of metal. And that's on McDonald Drive. The Fay Bowden House, again, it's a Lustron house that's in north on Dakota Avenue. And these two new ones, it would be to add Jefferson School and the Carl and Helen Habit Building, which is the location of Pop Ice Cream on the corner of, or right there on Dakota. And so that's what this ordinance does, it just adds those two names specifically to that list that I gave you.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions, comments for Mr. Cranston?
I do have
Yes, sir.
a question or two. So the list that's outlined on here of properties, is that outside of the historic
Yes.
preservation district?
Yes, all of these properties are individually listed on the register. And there's a national register and then there's a state register. And so but these are nationally registered.
Gotcha. And does that promote or prevent use of these properties in any way?
No, it does create some unique situations when you're doing repairs and things like that. But typically, it's an effort to kind of enshrine the historic value of that particular facility and trying to protect that for the future. So, but it doesn't usually become ineffective, I should say, to make repairs and things. You just have to plan for it and allow for it to happen. So it maintains its character and its style and its architecture.
Sure. Thank you.
Yep.
And Barry, does that make them potentially eligible for some debt
Yes.
funding too?
Yes, yes. when you're listed, then you become automatically eligible for that. And we've had several, like the Octagon House, Kevin Tompkins has done some Deadwood grant work. I know because the Presbyterian Church, for example, right on 7th or 5th in Dakota, they've done some window work over the years with stained glass and everything. That was eligible. And so those are just a couple of examples. But
Thank you.
The Dakota Land Museum
Dakota Land,
and Stone Church have also
Mhm.
received, and Pile House,
Sure.
Deadwood grants.
Okay. We'll have the second reading. We have to have
We have a motion and a
Okay.
second.
Okay.
Second reading on the
Any
next
other
one.
comments? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Moving on to departmental items, 8.1, solid waste drop-off site update. And I'm going to turn this over to Commissioner Clute. I see we have our solid waste superintendent, Dale Fortin, here with us tonight too, so go ahead, anybody that wants to get started.
I'll go ahead and start. We've asked Barry to put the video up and show the community what the solid waste department has been working on, and a wonderful new addition and improvement to the recycling and yard waste drop-off area. And it's now fully open and operational. This site expands service to residents and businesses while supporting our ongoing efforts to reduce landfill disposal costs and operate more efficiently. Recycling continues to provide measurable cost savings for the city. Waste transported to the landfill in Pierre carries a significantly higher tipping fee than recyclables hauled to Sioux Falls. By diverting recyclable material, the city reduces landfill expenses by approximately $22 per ton. Increased participation at the new drop-off site will directly contribute to lowering disposal costs and preserving solid waste recycling efforts. We also have a little procedure that we can share with you. The site operates using a self-service kiosk system. This is really great. I went out today and we went through it. It's very similar to the car wash you go through. And you can scan your driver's license at the kiosk. Then you select either recycling or yard waste. If you're eligible for a free load, the entry proceeds automatically. If payment is required, the driver is prompted to insert or tap a credit or debit card. And upon completion of the transaction, the gate arm lifts for entry. This system ensures an accurate tracking of free loads, consistent fee collection, and efficient traffic flow. And now I'm going to turn it over to the expert garbologist.
That was
That's
good.
his official title.
Is that guy on the screen?
Yes.
That's my garbologist scale operator.
Yes, our garbologist scale operator has done an amazing job of putting together
Yeah.
educational material for the community. And
We've been doing it both in Corinne and in American, so.
Well,
well, I'm not sure
Well, I
that's
don't know.
part
that's
of
not
it.
it. Okay.
You don't get
I
to
had
cook
re-
when you come out
had to
there.
replay it here.
That looks like some advertisement.
Well, having some
So
technical
this is,
difficulties here.
while we're getting this back up, this is what we've been talking about
Okay.
ever since we built the
Okay.
place out there.
Yeah,
Right.
Where the gate, the arm's gonna
Yeah.
come down now,
Yeah.
so.
similar to what Pierre has done
Correct.
and other communities, Sioux Falls has.
And branches that are smaller than 3 inches diameter and shorter than 6 feet long. Other materials, like dirt, rocks, trash, and bags, are not permitted. There is a recycle bin for plastics, like milk jugs and yogurt containers, and paper, cardboard, and aluminum and tin cans. Food containers must be rinsed out before dropping. Do not put plastic bags in the recycling, and do not dump trash anywhere in this area. To start, scan the back of your driver's license. Use the up and down arrows to select either yard waste or recycling, and press enter. If you are a Huron City resident, you can access the drop-off site for free, 4 times a month for yard waste and 4 times a month for recycling. These 4 dumps are for your own household only. You may not dump other people's yard waste or recycling with your free dumps. If you are not a resident or have used more than 4 dumps, you will be prompted to pay with a debit card or credit card. Insert or tap your card to pay. Once the transaction is processed, the gate will go up and you may enter. Thank you for coming. To report a problem with the kiosk or drop-off area, call the transfer station during regular hours.
We have been busy today, we called.
Well, you said you had some. I mean, we've
Yes.
had some over the last couple of days,
Yeah.
transactions.
And the 4 it's set up for right now is just what we set that number. That could change, but it's 4 for the month. So if you're doing a cleanup or something, and this is just yard waste, so you can also come out 4 times for recycling. And like a couple of people, if you come out, I'll know where you're going, but it doesn't necessarily, we'd like to see who's using the recycling bins there. So this allows you to also bring out that larger cardboard, that if you stuck it in your blue can at home, it's not gonna empty the blue can. So you can bring it out there in the big bins, you got the big slot in there, so you do have to flatten it just to get it in there. The tree trimmers, the landscaper guys that are going to be coming out, we do expect that, I've already talked to several of them, and one of the things is that that's kind of a fee for us to haul that away also. So when you fill that site up with those types of things, like sometimes we come out there on the weekends and the tree trimmers have just filled the whole lot up. It takes us coming out on Saturdays also to help keep that pushed back and hauled away then the next week. So it's a convenience fee, we don't look at it at that right now. I've had a few coming in from out of town today, they're glad, they've seen that in other places, and one of them just was here over the last year from another state, and said, yeah, I was just wondering when this was all gonna happen, because it's been going on in other states this way also, so. But we'll work with that 4 count. Now during leaf season, everybody knows that that's gonna be chaotic. We will open that up for numbers so that it isn't choking everybody out, because the last thing we wanna do is not have people haul the leaves out when they're falling, so we'll definitely open that number up so we can do more loads during that time of the year. The recycle bins, they're along the one side. I sent you some pictures, I don't know if you got
Yep,
those.
I did.
But it's pretty easy to see them when you pull in, and then right on top of them, it tells what the materials are that goes in them. To go through sometimes what doesn't go in them, if it's not on the container, don't put it in the container. There is a list of several things that are not acceptable, but as a rule, if it's on there saying we accept it, put it in. It's the same as your blue container at home. For the last few years, we've been having people come in from outside of town, different areas, also the schools and stuff that do a little bit from other communities. This way they can take it there and dispose of it right there too, and then we have a card showing that, oh, that came from here. So we'll be able to track it that way also. Same way with businesses that have a large amount of cardboard that wanna come out on the weekend. There's a few small contractors that do things, and on the weekend, they just wanna get rid of all them boxes. So they flatten them out and bring them out.
This is what it looks like.
So when you pull up to the gate, that's the entrance gate, and that's the bins that are alongside the fence line there. And that was all done through grants also with the state of South Dakota and the recycling program that we have, along with that hook truck that we purchased to help us move those out.
And those are all labeled clearly, so it's easy to identify which one you would pull up to and dump.
One more note, we've, March 5th of this year marks 1 year that we've been dumping in the new facility. So we've gone through 7,178 bags. We ordered 7,200 bags. My container with the semi came in Friday, so we just made it. But another community had some that if we ran out, they were gonna, let us take some bags from them. Everybody else is running low also, so everybody ordered a full load. This load that we just got should be 20 months to 24 months worth of bags that we have, so we should be sitting in good shape. Our average is about 21 bags an hour. The balers ran 346 hours since we started baling, so a little over a year ago. The community started coming in through that facility, and I think it was April 14th, 1 year after the facility blew down. We started bringing people in. So we've been streamlining the way things work, and as everybody that's been out there bringing stuff has seen, the flow has gotten good. We hear people coming through, and they just are so happy with the way the facility works and the way everybody can get unloaded inside, not out in the rain. And if they want to go to the bins, it's right out the door, so the other material can go to the bins.
One other thing about those bags, that's another thing that costs a lot of money to send the garbage to Pier. We do not have to put the recycling in those bags. And as you remember, they're quite expensive. And you have to have the garbage in that bag, baled and ready to go. So if we can encourage recycling,
Yeah, we still, right now, we're pushing that 10%, where when we started this whole program, the whole idea was, and that was back in 2013, we're gonna be at 25%. And I think it was in 10 years, we'll be at 25%. But we haven't got there yet, but the more we encourage and the more that we make it so that you can bring it out in different materials. And then we had that cardboard hit, where, the back and forth taking different materials out and stuff. But I do hope that we can get up to that, 15 to 20 and see how things go over this next year.
Do you see glass making a return, or?
So there is it's not necessarily a return, it's the weight. So the whole concept on glass recycling kind of comes into the concept of which way we haul it. It is cheaper to go to Sioux Falls if we mix it in our loads. A lot of people don't want to do that. It's not that we're not going to experiment. We may try that a few times, and we'll see how that works out. The shars are what's the bigger thing, when you drop the glass bottles and then we compact it. So as you compact it, it also tears your concrete floor up. It's just like run over sandpaper all the time. So those are all things where if you had a bin that it went in, and then you never had to touch it until you got to the next place, that would be great. But as our operation and a lot of other communities do, there are live bottom floors. You think of that glass rubbing back and forth. Every load you go down and back and forth, it just wears them floors out. So other communities are doing it in the single stream. They do pay, for that process and stuff, but we'll have to, and I've had questions asked. I would love to have it so we had a container and bunker that we could haul directly to the glass recycler. And that's been kind of my goal right now. They will come as far as Vermilion, but that's as far north as they'll come for that glass recycling. Try to work out with Vermilion, hey, if we haul our glass there, and they're like, we got enough here. But those are some things that maybe someday, we can get back into that conversation and stuff. And the glass doesn't hurt the landfills. It's an aggregate that some landfills use, that crushed glass to help drainage. So they use it as an aggregate and stuff, and therefore it actually is going into another landfill and being used for something else, so. I'd like to see more on getting the paper, cardboard, tin, and aluminum out. That other, we're talking a lot of those things that we're not getting, that's 30% of the waste stream, that if we can concentrate on that as opposed to the glass. That's all education. We just gotta get out there and keep talking to people. Any other
Anything
questions?
else?
Well, thank you
Well-
guys.
Finally got that part of it going.
Yeah, we still have a few things, but
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah.
and like we, talked with Pauline, we'll work through those little things with the credit card stuff and all that. But as starting up all that, it kinda has a little good glitches, so.
Okay. Thank
You
you,
don't
Dale.
have any more duct tape or baling wires sitting around?
We pulled the duct tape out today for something else, but we have some good stuff.
Well, on a little bit of a serious note, Dale, I know that project has been a passion and a goal of yours and for the city as well.
Yeah.
And I want to commend you for guiding that and leading that, and the rest of the workforce that's out at the solid waste. It's been a long project, but a
And
very
it's-
worthwhile project.
It's been a team effort, I tell you what, back and forth with different, as Rhonda's been out there several times, and Rich, that we've all talked of how we can make this work, and with the space we had, so, and everybody's pulled together, and we've got it. And I'm glad like we talked the other day, I'm glad we're out of where we were. Anybody that comes out to the new place are like, wow. So, compared to where we used to be, as anybody that was out there, seeing that, and Mark can testify with that.
A little bit.
And with your institutional knowledge and how that all comes together, that's very valuable.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for your work on it.
Thank you.
All right. And we have one more departmental item update. This is from the Huron Community Campus Department, and we have with us tonight the director, Doug Peets, and our liaison, Brian Smith, but I'll just let whoever.
All right,
He does
thank
a
you,
great
Mayor,
job of
Commissioners.
talking.
Yeah, he's a talker.
I have problem talking, so. I started with an agenda of 2, but now that I'm up here, I need to add a third one, because I'm gonna apologize. I didn't create a handy video show to bring along with me, but after listening to Dale, maybe we need to add into academia garbologist. I'll have to run that up a flagpole somewhere, see if anybody has that. It could be coining a new term there, I think. Anyway, in all seriousness, I do have 2 things on my agenda tonight to come and visit with you guys about. First of all, I want to thank you for your continued support of higher education in town. The city of Huron has been unwavering in their support for higher education, not just to the general public, to our department heads as well with our Leadership Academy, which has been great. I think it's something that is going to keep our staff current on changes, up on technology, and efficient city, and I think that's what everybody wants us to do. Plus, we're building leadership skills in our staff that I think will add to our employment base. So the second thing that I want to bring up this evening, back in December, I went up to Northern, and one of the hot buttons up there at all state schools is micro-credentialing. And it's just a new phrase for basically a workshop. And I went through one of the micro-credentials when I was up there at Northern, and I was up there last week, and we're kind of finalizing the plans. And we want to bring a micro-credential here to Huron. And we're looking at April to do this. And hopefully we can provide training, not just to employees of the city, but we'll open it up to anybody that wants to come to. We're gonna have dual credit students, we're gonna have current students of NSU here at the Huron campus, and then any other people that wanna partake in it. I think it is a huge benefit to Huron to have something like this. Hopefully, we can create a process to avoid mistakes, reduce risks, and offer better solutions to any problems that exist for our businesses in Huron to run effectively and efficiently. So what we're gonna start off with is a micro-credential in AI technology. We wanna look at ChatGPT and how to use the tool, what is it? Not just to be able to go on there and say, hey, give me out a better email to somebody so it reads really nicely. But how can you use that tool as a way of creating solutions to projects, to understanding better the maybe answers to questions? And so we want to offer that micro-credential. Dean Bockerny, who's the Dean of the Business Department, is putting this together there. Amanda, and I apologize, I forget Amanda's last name right now, was in the meeting on Wednesday. I was there, the Director of Online and Continuing Ed, the Provost, the Dean of the Business Department, BADM, was there. And we spent an hour together going over this. This will be Northland's first attempt of bringing this off campus. They have micro credentials on campus, but they've been for other professors or for the student body even, of how do we get on to D2L? What's the first week of classes look like? What needs to get done? As professors, what can we do for leading courses? How do we create a stronger learning environment? All those credentials have just been offered at this point on their campus. So this is their first attempt of taking it off campus, taking it somewhere else. So we have a few things that we're working on, worked on a couple of them today. So we bring Commissioner Smith in, and he's gonna sign up for this program. One, what's the sign up look like? Because they never have had to sign people up before. It's always just been offered on their campus. How do we credential somebody that's not enrolled into something NSU? Because, you know, all the students we work with, obviously they're enrolled. So now we're gonna have a portion of what we wanna do in Huron that maybe they're not enrolled in anything at NSU. Okay, what do we do with them now? How do they utilize all the tools that are out there? So that's what we're working on. April 8th would be the first session of it. I have it slated for 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It would run for an hour, and then we come back on April 15th. When they're done with the April 8th, everybody will have a little project they're gonna do. Come back on the 15th, review that project, what worked, what didn't work, what roadblocks do we have, what problems did we have, what do we need to do to make the process smoother. So those are the two dates that we have selected, both of them at 4 o'clock. At this point, I'm pretty secure on 8 and 15. 4 o'clock may be a little bit more fluid, but we'll get that as we get into it. I'm passionate about continuing education. I think that's where we should live in continuing education. Never stop that learning process. As I said, micro-credentials, what they call it, but it is basically a little quick workshop for an hour. Once again, thank you for every dollar that is being spent. I know those tax dollars come hard, but I think it's critical to increase the efficiency, reduce operational error, improve planning, and make a strong community and strong leadership within our community, which also helps retain talent in our community. We can show our staff that, hey, we are concerned about your education and having you continually grow in your education. So that's what I'm doing up here visiting with you guys. I know you all serve on different departments within the city. It would be great if you take this information, and I will have a flyer. I saw the first proof of it today. There's a couple things I didn't like on there, namely they didn't have HCC on there anywhere, so we sent that back to them. They said, no, we gotta have HCC on there somewhere. So we'll get that redone, and I'll get those flyers out to everybody so that possibly you can take your department heads. Leadership Academy, I know we've had 12 people go through that already and have finished with that. You know, I'd love to extend it to those department heads, those 12 people that went through it, and even the students that are engaged in leadership Huron right now. It'd be great because there's many things you do in that class that you can utilize that AI technology for. So that's what I'm doing. Once again, thank you for your support and giving me the time to come and visit with you guys. Anything I missed?
How
Commissioner
many
Smith?
people do you think you're gonna have?
What's that?
How many people do you think you're gonna have?
I said it at 30 when I was up there visiting them. I would be tickled if I had 25.
You might get 40.
we may have to move to a different room. That's what, A223 is where I'd like to have the class because of the technology we have in that room. And I've had 36 in there taking the ACT test, that is tight. 30 is a nice number, 25 would be, and so it'd be cool. I would love 25. But like I said, we're gonna open it up, I'll put some flyers out there and run some marketing onto that.
Doug, is there a cost to that?
There is not gonna be a cost to that. That is gonna be absorbed in other places. You had to ask, didn't you? I appreciate that. Yeah. Since it is Northern's first attempt at, first time of doing this, the cost is gonna be very, very minimal. It's not gonna be the cost of a professor like we would other classes. We might have to give them a little gas money to come down here twice is basically what we're gonna boil down to. So the cost is gonna be, this first time to get people through a program, I've really worked hard to make sure that the cost is very minimal to everybody involved.
For the participants, what would they need to bring?
Notebook and a pen. Because that was one of the things we're not gonna, through the instruction that they're gonna receive and things that they're gonna watch in that class, they'll need a computer when they leave that class at home, but you won't have to have a laptop into the class. Just show up with a notebook and a pen. That was my request. When you start adding everybody bringing technology and logging onto the internet, and does it work, does it not work, how are we getting into it, all those things, since it's just those 2 little nights, it's not like you're in a whole semester and want to download a bunch of operating systems. So we worked hard on avoiding that. Like I said, when you go home, there's some things you're gonna have to do to get a project done, but actually in the class, no. Notebook, like I said, notebook and a pen. So, and we did cover that when I was up there.
I do want to say thank you for throwing in that one of your last comments about not having HCC on there. Because I've sat in on some of your cooperation meetings, and of course I know the rivalry between Northern and HU.
HU, yeah, there was one, wasn't there?
And the HU people are very, very involved yet.
Yes, sir.
Very involved. So we cannot let that go unnoticed. So thank you
Yep.
thank you for covering them.
We make sure,
That's right.
they know they've been on their
They know,
campus,
yes.
I'm sure they do.
All right, anything
Thank-
else for Mr. Peets?
Thank you, Doug, for
Yeah.
You bet.
keeping us educated.
Well, yeah, that's,
Dermatologist class, we have a ton of educators out there who
yeah.
can do hands-on.
Like I said, I gotta run that up the academic flagpole just a little bit. See what's out there.
Okay, we're
Professor
adjourned.
Ford.
No, seriously, I guess that does complete our, thank you, Mr. Shivey, for being present with us.
My pleasure. This is a lot more fun than the legislature.
Thank you for that. All right, we will be adjourned.